it's Dale from Old Southern Kitchen and Garden. I've got a busy day ahead today, so I'm going to show you something that I'm putting on this morning so that when I come back this afternoon, dinner will basically be cooked. I've got my crock pot here, and in it I have my favorite cooking ingredient, bacon grease. So I've got 2 teaspoons of that in there, and it's been, what do you call that? Not thawing out, but it's been melting in there. To that, I'm going to add 1 small onion, half a green bell pepper, and then I had some of those little tricolored peppers, yellow, orange, red, that were about to go bad. So I cut up one of each of those, and some garlic. And we're just going to toss it in here. Let's see. And get my knife. And I guess, as always, I forget to tell y'all what we're cooking, but today we're cooking something that in every house, when they have a busy day, every southern house, probably northerners too, but beans. We're putting on a pot of beans so that when we go out there about our day, this is going to be cooking for us, and we won't have anything really left to do when we get home, except for maybe make a pot of rice and a pan of cornbread. So I just realized I forgot a spoon. Let me get that, and I'll be right back. So I'm back, y'all. Got my spoon, got my veggies in there, my onions and my peppers and my garlic. Next thing we're going to do is got a big old bowl of ham. Right after one of the holidays, I believe it was Christmas, the store had hams on sale. So we went and got a big old huge ham, baked it, divided it into a bunch of freezer bags, where that way on days like today when we were cooking beans, we just had to pull it out and put it into the beans. Also, got my beans out of the freezer this morning, washed them, all that stuff. Today we're doing lima beans. Both Chuck and I love lima beans. Get them all in the bowl. Okay, and last thing we need for this meal, for the moment, some chicken broth. So we're going to go ahead and pour the chicken broth in. We used up all our pork broth we made at home, our homemade pork broth, so we're having to use some chicken broth today. You want to put enough to about cover the beans, and this just covers my beans. If you want to come up in here, I'll stir all this around so you can see the ham and the beans and all those veggies. That is going to be a good old bowl of eating later. So that's good enough. I'm going to put this on. It's on high. It should be ready in about 4 hours or so. And but it's going to cook until I get back. So thanks for stopping by, and I will show you this when I get back and it's time to eat. Okay, y'all, I'm back from running all my errands, and dinner's cooked. I didn't even have to do anything other than start it this morning. So let's see what we've got going on. After the camera turned off earlier, I did put 2 bay leaves in here, but that's all I did to it. So I'm going to remove these 2 bay leaves. Very hot. Good Lord. Okay, remove them right there. Now, you'll notice we didn't season it earlier, but these are the beans and the ham, and we're not done. We do have one more step. So we're going to go ahead and season it. Because we use chicken broth and it has salt in it, I'm going to not really use some salt here until I put everything else in it and taste it. So that was some pepper. We are going to use some salt-free seasoning mixed. And this is all to taste. I'm not telling you how much to use or whatever. You do you and use the amount you want. And the last thing is red pepper flakes. Actually, it's the second to last thing. Because my whole life I've been taught with beans, just add a few dashes of Worcestershire to it. No matter what kind of bean it is, add some Worcestershire to it. And the very last thing I was also taught, you always add to beans, is butter. So that's 2 spoons of butter in Now we are going to stir this up. And then I'm going to show you one more tip or trick about the beans to make them so creamy and delicious. They're already going to be delicious, but this step is a little something extra. We've got a bowl right here. We're going to go in here and scoop out some beans. Probably like a couple spoons worth. We are going to take a fork, and if Chuck wants to bring you back in, we are going to mash the beans. In mashing the beans, this is going to make them creamier, so when you add it back to the pot, it's going to make your whole pot of beans creamy. So you're only going to do this with like a couple of spoonfuls. Or, as always, you do you and do as many as you want, but I typically just do two spoons. So you see how smashing all this stuff up, these beans and the ham, it doesn't matter that it gets a little smashed, has made this a bowl of creamy goodness. Now, we are going to take it, pour it back into our pot of beans. Get every little smashed up bean out of there. We want all the creaminess we can get. And let me tell you, this bowl is hot from just holding the beans that short amount of time. Now, we're going to stir our creamed beans in here. And because I'm not ready to eat, I'm going to let it just continue simmering away. But if you were ready to eat, it's done now. That's all you need to do. The beans are made and ready to eat. But I got to get some cornbread made because you can't have beans without cornbread. So hopefully you'll give these beans a try. Basically, this was baby Lima beans. You can do this same recipe with any kind of beans. When we cook red beans, because that's a Louisiana specialty, it'll have some different steps and stuff to it. But basically, any kind of beans, put them on in the morning. When you get home from work in the afternoon, dinner's cooked. So thanks for stopping by, y'all, and I'll see you on the next video.